What's good, brother? You can change your life in 1 month, not 1 year, not 5 years, not 10 years. 1 month is all it takes. And if for a second you feel this antenna go up saying, that's not possible, how is that possible? I'm going to give you evidence and proof from my own life and from working with men who are in severe addiction, more addicted than you probably are to anything, and seeing how quickly they can change their behavior in just 1 month. Now, I'm giving you this evidence to give you hope and to change a belief that whatever situation you're in, however far gone you feel, out in left field you are, off the cliff you are, there is always redemption for every affliction, and you can bounce back 100%. Okay, the evidence I have is to have enough conviction in this because of my own life experience. I was addicted to porn and masturbation for most of my life. At the peak of it, when I was in my teenagers and in my 20s. And it was crippling me because I didn't want that behavior. It's a different story when you just justify it to hell and say, you know what, everyone's doing it's fine, it's normal, it's natural, sexual temptation, I have a sex drive, I might as well. It's a different story when you are a man of faith, like I was, and I had this deep connection to God and desire to become a husband in the future, to become a father, but I was weighed down by the crippling reality that I still had been using porn and masturbating, and feelings of shame and guilt and I can't believe I'm doing this to my life. And being weighed by that it causes this intense hypocrisy and discrepancy in your heart that you start to wonder if your life will even unfold as you hope, or you will just be addicted your entire life. And so I went from that in just 1 month, very short period of time, completely changing my life around when I made a simple decision to do these 4 steps that I'm going to tell you guys right now. In this very video, you're going to learn how to transform your life in 1 month. This is on the basis of working with men in addiction for many, many years, one-on-one mentoring, coaching, counseling men. Don't worry, I have nothing to sell you. And so I had this experience where this belief was changed for me when I was working with a man who was in his 70s. Here's a man who has been struggling with porn addiction for more than 60 years, for 6 decades, okay? And I want you to think for a second of all the stuff you've been through in your life, all the reasons you feel like you're too addicted and you're too much of a sex drive. This is a man who's in his 70s, had just lost his wife to cancer the year that I started talking with him. His children are all over the place in terms of their values and their morals and their standards, a lot of them going through a lot of difficult things. A man who doesn't have a job, he's unemployed, on paper doesn't have much going for him. On top of that, he was a man of faith, of God, who's going to church every week and feeling like a hypocrite, and was covered with shadows and secrecy and shame to the point where he absolutely gave up hope. Until we started talking. And I prescribed to him these 4 steps. And in 1 month, just a few conversations, I asked him to do it, and he completely transformed his life. I cannot think of a more dire situation, my brother. I cannot think of a more worst case scenario than being addicted for decades, not having a job, not having much to go for him in life, and just losing his wife, and still having the addiction. And I'm saying this because if the worst case scenario can bounce back that quickly, there is absolutely no reason why you cannot. All right? There's absolutely no reason on planet Earth. So here are the 4 steps. Before we answer that, answer the question, what is actually wrong with your life? Because you think of your life as, oh, I've got so many troubles, and it's a very amorphous, ambiguous problems that are going on. It's like, my life is overwhelming. Blanket statement, my life is stressful. And my life is just out of control. My addiction is out of control. I want you to tell me and list down actually in your journal, what are the actual things going wrong? What are the actual things that you can pinpoint and say, this is what I'm doing wrong? Because you can just essentially submit to defeat and say, oh, my life is difficult, which essentially is being lazy because you're not willing to do the work and actually think through it, my friend. What actually is going on in your life? Now, I asked this to myself when I was going through this process of changing my life. And the discovery I came to was simply this. What was going on is that I was trying to escape difficult emotions going to my phone. especially Instagram and YouTube and social media and porn. And I realized like, oh, I have been placing this blanket statement on myself, which is I'm an addict, I'll never get rid of this, I'm a piece of shit, I can't do this, to accurately depicting myself as, oh, I have difficult emotions that I never learned how to deal with, specifically stress and loneliness. And ever since I was a teenager, this is how I dealt with those emotions, through going to a device, my phone essentially. And then I pinpointed it and I said, that's the problem. That's actually the issue that's going on. I don't have to have this amorphous, ambiguous figure of like, oh, I have problems in life. But actually, this is exactly what's going on. So once you've identified it, actually, of working with the hundreds of men that I have in my life, I know probably your root issue is very similar. The reason you go to escapism behaviors like porn, like masturbation, like social media, like drugs, like alcohol, like anger, violence, all that stuff is because you have identified that you have not ever learned how to deal with these difficulties in life, like stress, like boredom, like loneliness, like anxiety, and you have instead gone to some kind of soothing mechanism or crutch in your life. That is as simple as it goes. I just saved you thousands of dollars of counseling and therapy, my friend. So, once you've figured that out and you've actually gotten honest with yourself, the next step is step 1. You have to remove the distractions from your life. The root issue is that you have distractions in your life that are keeping you from staying focused. The distractions are social media, video games, porn, all the stuff that you go to when you feel difficulty and when you feel like you just want to not be alive anymore. And you just have the overwhelming feeling of, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Or as simple as, I'm just bored. As innocent as it sounds, I'm bored, I'm going to go watch TV. I'm bored, I'm going to go on my phone. As innocent as that sounds, you have developed an addiction to something just to not be bored, just to squash the emotion of boredom. And so you've never learned how to utilize your boredom to your advantage, which is a God-given emotion, right? So step 1 is to remove all distractions from your life for 1 week. Just do it 1 week. All the media, all the stuff you tend to go to, it's just 1 week, brother. Don't worry, I got you, relax. I know it's hard. No video games, no porn, no social media, no YouTube, no Instagram, except this channel, no nothing. 1 week. Step 2, during this 1 week period, evaluate every single emotion that you feel every time you feel like going back to the distraction. Every time you feel it, make note of it. Instead of squashing it, you go, oh, I feel stressed, I feel lonely, I feel bored, I feel anxious, and I noticed I just wanted to go to my phone and play video games, or I just wanted to go to my phone and go to Instagram mindlessly. Instead of doing that, you take out your journaling your notebook app, and you write down, I have a tendency to go to escapism behaviors, to distractions when I feel these emotions. That's it. You do that for 1 week, and you have a list of every single time and emotion that you tend to use distractions to alleviate, to numb. That's step 2. Step 3 is to find alternatives in your life that you can do besides going to those distractions. Alternatives basically are things that God instilled in you originally to go to when you feel difficult emotions. Think about this for a second. We have been trained by society, the system, to believe that all emotions that are negative should be squashed and numbed and medicated so that you don't feel them anymore. Are you depressed? Are you sad? You need none of it. You are suffering the symptoms of being a goddamn human being. All emotions are good. Not pleasant. I didn't say they'd be easy. All emotions are helpful if you let them be. But they're destructive if you respond to them with any sort of supernormal hyperactive activity that is not meant to be utilized for that emotion. For example, why did God instill in you boredom, my friend? I know you feel bored. Why did God give you boredom? So that you can go play video games until the nights end? No. It's so that you wouldn't die of vegetation. It's so that you would not die of obesity. It's so that you would move your body. It's so that you would do something productive with your day, with your life. That's why. God gave you stress. Why? So that you can protect yourself and the ones you love, and the ones you love. All emotions are good. God gave you loneliness so that you would stop, masturbate into oblivion, and actually find a wife to connect with and to have children. That is why. God gave you loneliness so that you would have brothers, friends, connection in your life. All all emotions are good. Now the problem is that you have found the easiest way for you to squash those emotions. Because of the world we live in, it is easier than ever to whip out a phone and instantly go from 100 miles an hour stressed to 0, nothing, numb, completely out of this world stressed to just nothing. You could be watching porn in 5 seconds, hardcore porn, and feel nothing. How healthy that can that be over an extended period of time? Very unhealthy. So the key is step 3 is find alternatives. Think about if I was living in this world 1,000 years ago with no access to anything super normal stimulating, no drugs, no alcohol, no porn, no social media, no screens, how would I have dealt with all these emotions? Basically, any answer you come up with in that question is better. Any answer you can come up with is better than the alternatives that you've been using right now. And so step 3 is to find those alternatives, have a default activity that you always go to in your mind as an instant knee-jerk reaction. And you say, I'm bored, I'm going outside. I'm bored, work on the business. I'm stressed, talk to someone. I'm lonely, talk to someone. Call someone. Instantly. Done deal. Finished. Step 4, my friend, after you've done all that, step 4 is to decide after 1 week, continue to do this for 28 days. Do it for 28 days, which is 1 month, and that is how you will change your life in 1 bloody month. It only takes 1 month, because my promise to you is that after 1 week of doing this, and if you are honest with yourself and evaluate how is my week, you will not have ever had a more productive week in your entire life. Ever. Why? Because your time, your attention, your focus, your drive, everything has been utilized to your advantage and not siphoned mindlessly from your life, but has been given to things that actually do matter in your life. And just think about if you did that for 28 days, for an entire month. Most people will spend 4 hours a day on average now on their device. 4 hours. I don't need to say it, guys. That's a lot of bloody freaking time. You can do anything with that amount of time. Now extrapolate that into 28 days, not just 7 days. Now extrapolate that into a year. And then extrapolate that into your entire life. There is nothing you cannot do, and you will accomplish more than 0.0001% of humanity on planet Earth, because everyone is enslaved by this system. Everyone is trapped in this system of feeling that it is acceptable behavior to squash our emotions that have been given to us divinely. Boredom, stress, loneliness, and to squash them and numb them. And we believe it is acceptable to go to supernormal activities. Guys, you can do whatever you want with your life. It's your life. I love you regardless. But I'm here to tell you, and you're watching this video because you know that you can be part of the 1%. 1 percentile. 99.99% of people will not understand this. They don't. Nobody talks about this. YouTube has no incentive for you to get off their platform. They just want you watching more videos. YouTube will not say, hey, buddy, you need to get off your damn phone and take a break. Go on a walk. I will tell you that. I will tell you that. Get off YouTube. Take a walk. Work on yourself. If you're stressed, if you're bored, don't come here. Come here when you want motivation and love. If you want motivation and love, that's what I'm here to give you. I'm not here to give you entertainment. I'm here to give you the stuff that matters in your life so that you can take actions in your life, in your real life, that are going to get you to where you want to go. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to keep you addicted to the platform. And everyone is part of this system that is telling you that you have to do this. Otherwise, you'll be unhappy. You will be unhappy if you don't. Guys, number 1, remove all distractions for 1 week. 1 week. Number 2, evaluate all the times you felt like going to those distractions. Write it down, all the emotions you felt. Number 3, find alternatives that you can utilize instead of the distractions. Move your body, for example, journal, for example, meditate, for example, pray, for example, talk to someone, most important. And then number 4, do it for 28 days. It will change your life drastically, and then let me know how it goes. You are loved more than you know, brother, more than you know. I'll see you in the next video.